Hello, Assalamualaikum guys. Welcome to Apa Cerita. I am Sister Ainul and together with me I have Sister Zaid.
Hi everyone.
Alright. So, Apa Cerita hari ni kita orang ada guest that who used to live a really interesting double life. So, right here we have Sister Aya. Alright, Sister Aya. Before we start, would you like to introduce yourself first?
Okay, so nama I Alia Husna Muhammad Hanafi, and currently I'm actually 30 years old. Not yet, 30 this year, and I am an alumni of IIUM, and I play ice hockey for Malaysia.
Wow. So you used to live like a student, tapi at the same time you national ice hockey player ke?
Yes, betul.
Okay, alright. So, kalau orang tengok you dekat campus, diorang just nampak you as a student kan? But macam mana sebenarnya life you?
Okay, so bila I dekat UIA, memang nobody has any idea apa I buat. Sebab kalau kat UIA, I dress up differently. Kadang-kadang I pakai face mask because I tak pakai makeup lah kan. And usually like my close friends dia tahu since diorang follow I punya social media, so diorang tahulah apa I buat. And of course lah, some lecturers tahu sebab ada time yang I kena pergi tournament, so I bagi letter lah.
Faham. So, macam mana you nak describe life you?
Dekat UIA.
Dekat UIA, boleh juga?
Okay, dekat UIA, okay, should I start with like I start masuk sini?
Boleh. Start from
okay.
the very
Alright, so I dulu asasi dekat PJ Petaling Jaya. So time tu still ada lagi dekat situ, engineering dengan IT lah kan, computer science kan. And then I lepas, I sambung lah degree engineering dekat UIA, dekat sini Gombak. So for like 3 years, I situ je sampai tahap yang I boleh tahan. Then I took a break. I cakap kat my mom, I dah tak boleh nak continue lah engineering because it's too hard for me. So after that 1 year of break tu, I terus apply as a new student here, ambil IT.
So
nah.
okay, faham. Sorry. So macam during you punya you tengah jadi engineering student, you tengah jadi at the same time you tengah jadi ice hockey player juga?
Not yet.
Okay,
So I start suka main ice skate ni sebab I nampak ada ramai orang macam dekat Sunway dulu, ada dorang ada kasut sendiri tau. So I macam interested because there's this one hijabi yang ice skate yang memang cantik, memang terror dia main. So time tu I cakap my mom, I nak jugalah kasut ni kan. Tapi mama macam cakap lah, tak payah lagi semua. So time tu still foundation lagi. And then like adalah something happen because I ada gaduh with my ex best friend lah at that time kat dalam bilik tu. So sampai I takut nak masuk bilik sebab dia buat the whole room macam like macam go against me for no reason kan. So time tu my mama macam kesian dekat I, so she surprised me with the ice hockey skates. So bila time macam boleh keluar ke apa, I akan pergilah Sunway sebab dekat kan dengan Petaling Jaya tu. So I skate je lah during that foundation years. Dan nantilah masuk degree engineering 2017 tentu, ada new mall Malaysia National Ice Skating Stadium dekat Empire Damansara time tu. So I try lah because diorang ada buat event untuk girls sahaja untuk try hockey. So at that time lah I start to join hockey while still being in engineering lah.
So waktu during like you punya 1 year break tu you buat apa?
I fokus kat ice hockey.
Okeynya.
Time tu lah memang aktif sangat-sangat pergi sana sini lah.
So actually you as student kan. So actually apa benda yang orang tak nampak dekat you, your life as national player?
Maksudnya dalam UIA lah kan.
Dalam
So
UIA.
since when it comes to academic ni, because I think I dah kind of burn out sebab I push too hard time engineering. So time tu at that time banyak jugalah benda yang jadi, like for example like macam my grandma passed away at that time. Lepas tu my dad pula sakit jantung. And then my mom so banyak lah things happen. So macam it was really harsh. So my studies tu kind of like susah gila lah nak fokus kan. So macam I tak salahkan sesiapa kecuali diri sendiri lah at the time. So it's actually really hard to balance, but it's not about ice hockey at all. It's just about yourself, macam mana you nak carry and despite all these things happening to you at that time. So at that time, so macam I just memang pergi and then still macam usually kan you know lah kan exam lain kan dengan apa yang kita belajar. Kalau engineering lah it's just susah kan. So bila I dah masuk IT tu, I pergi je kelas macam biasa, tapi I tengok time tu I dah ada lesen semua. Rumah I pun like 15 minutes away. So I memang ulang alik, memang my life pergi UIA tu just to go to class je. So I barely made friends except for international students, because kalau yalah mostly students kat sini kan bila dorang dah masuk degree usually ramai-ramai dah ada circle dorang kan daripada foundation ke apa. So it's really hard to make friends with them, nak try to blend in dengan all these girls kan. So it's funny lah sebab I boleh mingle dengan lelaki better, dengan international students better daripada Malay female students. So dorang memang tak ada idea lah of what I did, what I'm doing with my life. Dorang just nampak I macam like very low profile. Sebab I pergi kelas just to like pergi kelas, just buat assignment dan balik.
Okay. Kejap kan you macam took a break kan for like 1 year kan. Macam mana you tahu you dah ready nak masuk balik after that 1 year? Sebab like after you cerita just now, you actually went through something that macam not everyone pernah lalui, and I dengar pun macam I rasa macam wow, okay, like tak semua orang lalui benda tu kan.
It gets to a point where you rasa macam you need to do something about it. Like okay, sebab at that time juga I was heartbroken lah. Sebab I had this one ex, my first ex dekat CFS dulu. Tapi kita orang long distance lah, dia pergi US. So we broke up while he was there. So memang susah lah I nak move on. So dengan everything happen, so I jadi macam susahnya nak deal with this kan. So tu yang after like I dah rasa macam I keep on dwelling lah, I tak boleh nak pergi, tak boleh nak fokus semua benda. I cakap okay, I need to like take a break. And I focus ice hockey. Memang at that time memang syukur sangat because my parents have been very supportive. Dia tahu what happened to me semua. So dia kata bila I dapat introduce to the national team at that time, my mom macam cakap lah, why not, daripada you go skate around macam habis duit je tapi tak pergi ke mana-mana kan, why not just go for it je, tak apa, mak support, ayah support. So at that time tu lah macam dah start survey barang-barang ice hockey semua. So tu yang I start pergi training lah. So after that 1 year like really prepared me to like macam you know what, okay, I have so many things that I can do, and daripada like stay in one place and then just do nothing about it kan. So memang dia akan buat kita sendiri penat. Penat sebab I don't want to be in this situation anymore. Like I need to do something about it kan.
I think the decision for you to macam ambil break for 1 year tu macam I think benda ni semua macam Allah dah rancang lah. Benda tu like sometimes kita ingat tak belajar 1 tahun. Some people might think like kenapa dia ni tak nak belajar 1 tahun. But like the ending macam very very I'm so happy for you actually. I don't know how to express it, but I'm so happy for you. You know, I'm so proud of you. Like you kat sini dah sekarang kan. Orang pun panggil you untuk bercerita kan. I'm so happy for you. Alright, on to the next question I want to ask. Okay, after you masuk kan lepas 1 year tu, macam mana you actually balance all the training and you punya studies, you punya assignments? Sebab you dah hilang for 1 year kan, and you punya life was completely different lah after you masuk university. And macam mana you tiba-tiba boleh jaga all that? Macam tu lah.
Okay, so because ice hockey ni dia usually training time malam, so it doesn't really affect your weekdays ke apa. And usually it's on Friday night, Saturday night. Dia jarang kacau time hari weekday lah. So for me like tak ada masalah langsung with the sports that I'm doing lah.
Betul-betul. So you macam like pergi kelas, lepas tu balik.
Cuma yang what really like struggle is a struggle for me bila kena keep on like bangun pagi awal at least sebab nak kena pergi kelas kan, kena travel kan. Padahal boleh je duduk mahalah kan. So itulah dia punya dugaan sikit lah. At the same time, I also macam I was also I am still a gamer. I play games.
Oh iya ke? So you triple level ni?
I have a gaming PC. So yeah, at times kalau I ada free time and I have energy for it, I main lah game with my friends.
I think that's very like cool of you. You boleh macam you macam stress with all the work, but at the same time you still buat hobi you. You
Yes,
still
betul.
begitu. That's very cool lah actually. Some people diorang stress out, diorang burn out semua tu, and example diorang just macam tinggalkan hobi diorang tahu sebab diorang terlalu overwhelmed. So you macam pernah tak rasa macam overwhelmed gila, and macam mana you handle if you pernah lah rasa overwhelmed?
Kalau I overwhelmed lah with anything lah kan, I memang akan sentiasa look up for my friends, my close friends. Sebab dorang akan remind me balik. Walaupun kita dah, I mean, if kita admit lah, kita dah banyak kali dengar kan orang bagi advice, remind, benda yang sama, kita pun dah tahu benda apa yang kita patut buat. Tapi sometimes at that time kita macam at our lowest kan. So kita nak orang untuk cakap, untuk remind kita balik macam, okay, you should like calm down, take a breather ke apa, and fikir balik why do you want to do this, and what are you going to do with this.
So actually your close friend is your support system like during this life lah kan?
Yes.
So
Aside my family as well lah. Tapi my friends tu like
They help you a lot lah.
So what do you think if during that time you macam burn out tapi you tak ada support system, you rasa you will survive tak?
I don't think so.
Like
Because I rasa yang before like 1 year tu kan, I memang really
Refresh balik life.
Bukan, before I take a break tu kan, bila I tengah depressed teruk tu, I memang duduk dekat bilik saja and I did nothing. Sebab I tak boleh nak reach out to siapa. Tapi until I rasa macam ada my friend pun macam, okay, you cannot be like this anymore. And of course my sisters have been very supportive juga. Before my mom tahu semua benda lah kan, my sister cakap, okay, you know what, I tak nak my adik macam ni. I love you. You need to fikir about your future.
Betul. Shout out to sister Ayah punya sister, punya mom, punya dad, punya friends. That's very like heartwarming lah. Sebab usually lah people yang depressed, untuk diorang keluar daripada that kind of zone, diorang kena perlukan banyak sangat courage tau untuk keluarkan. You don't simply just I dah tak nak macam ni and then you suddenly tak macam tu.
So it's really important to have friends, at least. Kalau your family, kalau you tak boleh nak open up to your family, memang susah. I wouldn't be able to survive kalau my friends were not there.
You orang baik sebab you ada orang-orang baik kat sekeliling you.
so based on your cerita kan, like actually I think that you sangat penat gila. Like instead of you macam you ada your training, you pergi kelas, you juga ada buat your hobby kan. So selain you, how you manage untuk you keep on going, untuk you penat tapi at the same time you still, macam nak cakap ayat, you still want to do it, faham tak, without give up.
Mainly because of my mom. Because what my mom cakap lah kan, first thing first, of course kita nak for your own future, because one day nanti dia tak ada, who's going to take care of me? So I have to take care of myself to have a better future. So make sure that I get that degree. So dia suruh juga I, tak kira lah macam mana pun, like I have hiccups, I dah ada fail ke apa ke semua, all my failures semua tu doesn't define lah how my future going to be. Since I selagi I masih lagi nak hope for that better future kan. So itulah yang I memang pegang sampai sekarang. Memang cakap, no matter what, you get that degree lah.
Education is very important lah. Betul. Jangan tinggalkan lah apa-apa.
Tak kisahlah, put aside lah kalau tengok orang lain, tak ada study ni boleh je, tapi
that's
you
just
get that. It's
berapa
for yourself,
persen
it's
je.
achievement
Betul,
for
betul.
yourself. So that's the reason why I still keep on going walaupun banyak kali dah macam cakap boleh ke ni kan. Sebab dah mostly like dah burn out, tapi I still keep on going.
You ambil 3 tahun engineering tu kira like crazy gila lah. Sebab I punya kawan engineering, I dah tak nampak dia dah. Dia dah kat lab, tiba-tiba dekat sini. Itulah 3 tahun. Lepas tu you take a break. Best decision lah.
Kiranya sebabkan juga ice hockey ni lah, dia macam I punya apa nak panggil
Healing.
not healing lah, dia macam like my
Safe.
macam
Comfort?
nak kata getaway ke apa,
Ah,
tapi
yeah, getaway.
bila ada hockey tu macam dia buat I rasa macam okay balik, like despite I had to like push myself pergi kelas, belajar semua. Kalau tak ada, faham tak, mesti rasa macam dah burnout ni, tak ada benda yang buat kita rasa macam
So sepanjang you punya studies je ni kan, ada tak like your lecturer macam perli-perli ke sebab you macam jarang masuk kelas ke?
tak ada. Surprisingly KICT lecturer dia semua
Cool.
semua baik.
Baik, alhamdulillah. Sekejap, I nak tanya something sebenarnya. Alright, so you kan macam dah pernah like I'm sorry, but you kan macam pernah macam went through all the benda-benda yang depressing kan, and untuk keluar dari benda tu sangatlah susah, sangat susah. And you ada kawan-kawan you, and you ada parents you semua, which is alhamdulillah lah. I think you deserve that lah semua tu kan. You pernah tak ada macam, we call it episode when you rasa ataupun dia macam nak repeat benda tu lagi sekali? Panggil tu apa bukan episode, dia macam kita macam teringat balik benda tu and rasa macam benda tu macam nak jadi balik kat kita during you punya study ke sekarang ke?
Sekarang dah kurang lah sebab I had my life.
Relapse.
Relapse.
Thank you.
It's from time to time sebab selagi I tak finish my degree, I was always anxious. I rasa macam I feel like maybe it's wrong lah untuk compare diri sendiri kan. Macam tengok orang lain semua dah ni, my batch yang since engineer semua dah graduate, semua dah buat master, ada yang dah tengah buat PhD, and semua orang dah kahwin lah sana sini kan. So it's like kind of macam walaupun orang tak pressure, tak ada siapa pressure, my family pun tak ada pressure apa-apa, tapi kita sendiri rasa macam I kat mana right now kan.
Rushing lah.
Tapi like always lah, orang cakap everybody has their own clock lah kan.
Betul. Setuju.
I memang okay je along the way. I try to like macam, you know what, I'm just gonna get this degree done. At the same time, I alhamdulillah was given the chance to like enjoy my life with ice hockey, doing a lot of other things as well, travelling.
You dekat uni kan, luar uni you different ke? In terms
Yes.
of okay, macam mana you like personality, in terms of personality ke macam mana?
Personality,
Identity,
maksudnya kalau how I behave towards people sama je. If kalau orang tu okay, then I akan okay. Tapi kalau orang tu sombong, I memang diam je lah.
Yelah, boleh buat apa je kalau
sama
sombong
je
kan.
Tapi dari segi like dressing up, obviously like it's different kan.
Tapi in terms of like dressing up je lah, lain-lain macam contoh you punya personality, you punya identity still sama lah.
I think sama je, tapi sebabkan I tak ada banyak sangat kawan time I dekat IT, so I more like macam very low profile, like low key.
Macam mysterious, nonchalant girl lah ni. Tapi people tahu je kan you. Sebab I kenal you tau sebenarnya. Lah, people cakap macam, tahu tak ada seorang ice hockey ni. Macam, bapak cool dulu ni. Tak sangka pula dapat jumpa kan.
Tak adalah. Just memang kalau ada je a few friends yang baik, tu memang I just sama je macam nak I kat luar lah. Tapi most of the time sebabkan I tak selalu spend time dengan diorang kan, sebab diorang semua duduk UIA. So I kan selalu balik rumah kan.
Betul lah.
Cuma maybe I thought like macam okay lah, tak apalah, I had my fun, I had my uni years, time I engineering dulu. Sebab time engineering dulu, yes, I duduk malam, I pergi makan dengan my roommates. My roommates pun sama my coursemate juga.
Faham. I rasa you sangatlah beruntung lah in a way. Macam rezeki you sangatlah luas. Macam banyak sangat lah. I macam tahu you macam national ice hockey je, but I don't know you like best friend to someone's like daughter yang baik, kakak adik yang baik, semua tu, you know. You exactly macam ada like multiple, maybe triple, apa kalau kita panggil triple, 3, 4 apa? Apa? Quarter times 2 lah. Okay lah. So I think rasanya kita rehat dulu lah before we proceed to the next question. Alright, so back to the question lah. I sebenarnya nak tanya something. Okay, kita imagine lah. Okay, you tengah jalan-jalan kat KST kan. Tiba-tiba macam you dapat tahu 16 Mei you ada exam, 16 Mei juga you ada game. Kalau you pilih mana?
First I akan check dulu lah actually kalau ada orang boleh bagi I buat special exam ke school level. Special examination kan. So kalau ada orang bagi, then I akan prioritize the game lah. But kalau dia tak bagi, then I have no choice but to like kena exam tu.
So you still prioritize your study lah kan sebenarnya. Faham. Okay, I nak tanya je macam kalau I macam training. Baru training, belum lagi training.
So next question macam nak tanya lah, macam ice hockey ni tak common lah dekat Malaysia kan. So macam what the challenges that you selalu hadap bila cakap pasal ice hockey?
Okay, there are a lot of challenges when it comes to ice hockey in Malaysia because it's a niche sport. So sukan ni orang still tak tahu lagi. Banyak lagi sebenarnya tak tahu. Which is kita pun tak tahu macam mana nak bagi orang exposure lagi sebab we tried to like create events semua untuk bagi orang join lagi dan girls punya team kan sebab girls compared to boys punya team, boys punya banyak lah ramai lah kan. And then because of it's a niche sport in Malaysia, kita tak ada fund. So all this while for almost 10 years that I dalam ice hockey ni, semua duit sendiri. Training, travel di luar sana, nak masuk tournament pun bayar. Semua memang from diri sendiri.
Suka macam benda sukan dia memang tak ada bagi fun apa-apa lah.
Except for SEA Games baru-baru ni lah. Sebab it's our first SEA Games.
Oh ya ke?
Hantar perempuan penting.
So you macam first player Malaysia ni kan sebenarnya kan? In a way lah actually. Faham.
So actually what your highest achievement dalam ice hockey? You tak main SEA Games?
I tak main SEA Games. Unfortunately, no.
So the highest achievement?
Highest achievement, time I first joined tu, it's not actually like my first achievement lah because time tu I baru je join a few months of training and turns out at during 2018 tu, usually every year kita akan ada tournament untuk negara Asia and Oceania lah basically like ada juga dalam semua kan. So Thailand, Taipei, Philippines, UAE semua tu ada. So macam tu time tu kebetulan Malaysia yang jadi tuan rumah. So I was lucky at that time. Tapi most of the time I was on the bench lah because I was quite new. But we won all the games. Tapi I dapat main lah one game against India. So we won all games, so dapatlah goal at that time. Tapi we were in lower division, so of course akan banyak sangat negara participate. Tak ada banyak, it's like less than 8. So dia terpaksa bahagikan the top division dengan lower division. So for you to masuk in the top division, you need to win goal in the lower division. So orang yang last dekat top division akan masuk bawah lah. So at that time I wouldn't say it was my biggest achievement, but that was for the team lah kan sebab they did a lot macam untuk menangkan kelas. And I think achievement probably I time dekat open tournament. So open ni where you can form a team, hantar pergi dekat join lah team tu. Mostly selalu akan buat dekat Bangkok. Thailand rajin host open tournament. So I main lah. So adalah at that time saya dapat apa MVP of the match.
Wow, MVP.
I mean that rarely happen lah.
Betul. Oh, I think you dekat sini je juga achievement lah sebenarnya sebab not everyone boleh buat apa yang you buat. And I think try punya achievement kan. Alright, so
So actually like okay, people dah tahu you as national ice hockey. So actually how people react when saya nak cakap macam bila orang jumpa you, how they react? Okay.
You mean like orang yang dah tahu I ice hockey player ke? Mostly surprise lah. You ice hockey player ke? So I macam nak, bukanlah malu lah kan, sebab bukan nak kata I ni macam sombong apa, sebab I tahu like my level macam mana. Because if you try to go for the game ke and tengok how the boys play compared to how the girls play, it's really memang the disparity, the skills memang jauh beza. Lelaki memang terror, tapi perempuan pun ramai lagi yang terror jugalah dalam my team. So I was just macam okay, layankan je. I appreciate that diorang macam like have friendly moments lah at that time. Tapi I know, I just understand like there are a lot more better players lah. Ada lagi memang very hardworking, memang parents bayar sejak kecil lagi, hantar orang sejak 5 tahun lagi. Sebab I start lambat, I start time dulu.
just now we talk about challenges kan. But do you have like apa yang biggest life lesson you lah sepanjang hidup ni?
Oh, biggest life lesson I think my biggest life lesson is macam mana nak cakap, I left myself alone. Basically I didn't look out for myself. I tinggalkan dia. And I shouldn't do that lah, sebab if I have done better, despite whatever challenges yang coming, maybe I would have been an engineer. Tapi of course Allah has great plans and we don't know what is stored for us. Tapi itulah, if I can turn back time, I would not let myself depressed macam tu. Tak nak berubah at that time, memang tak nak. I just want to weep and cry all day. I chose that. But if I can turn back time, I wouldn't do that. I nak get help straight away from people, look for solutions. So itulah, I rasa sedih sikit sebab I tinggalkan diri I. Tak ada siapa yang salah kecuali diri sendiri. I tinggalkan diri I. Maybe that the little me, semua orang kan selalu macam fikir macam like we all macam sorry. So kita macam, of course time kita kecil dulu, of course kita selalu cakap macam nak jadi ni, tapi dah besar we have no idea that kita akan jadi macam mana and dah besar. Now looking back, I rasa macam I still have time to like prove that little me, I still can have a better future.
Kita you going to be so proud kalau you nampak you kat sini kan. Bukan main kan. Sebab orang nangis
I think that should be applied to everyone. Sebab apa-apa pun like, because this is just temporary and this world is going to test you always with a lot of things yang kita tak okay, our weakness. Maybe my weakness is not your weakness and semua boleh do that. Maybe I tak boleh like heartbroken ke apa, orang lain boleh like heartbroken, dia macam okay nanti tak aku move on. So kita, sebab ni lah dia akan test kat mana. So do not ever like tinggalkan diri.
Kalau macam ada orang macam ni kan, contoh I juga ada macam I nak ada triple quadruple life lah. You apa advice yang you akan bagi lah?
For me lah, it's okay to have so many lives. You nak aktif in, let's just say you nak jadi influencer ke, you nak main sport ni ke, you nak tiba nak buat ada band ke, you nak boleh nyanyi ke apa semua tu. It's okay if you can jaga, tapi jangan malas tu je. Malas ni macam memang penyakit yang boleh
Jangan malas.
kacau semua benda.
Jangan malas. Disiplin lah, disiplin.
Disiplin dan jangan malas.
You pun macam pergi training kan setiap. I rasa you mesti jarang masa skip training kan.
Training memang I jarang lah
Jarang sikit training,
tapi
ya.
yang of course one of the challenges is the money lah, because
Betul.
before ni my parents have been very supportive, memang selalu bagi while my dad still working at that time kan. But after dia sakit jantung tu, dia buat surgery semua, so dia try to kerja juga for a year, tapi dah rasa dia tak tahan kan, dia cepat penat sebab jantung kan. So dah pencen lah kiranya. So after that memang just duit yang ada tu macam-macam lah buat, and buat rumah lah ni benda. So bila dah macam makin lama, of course duit tu akan berkurang because nobody is working kan. My sisters orang dulu dah memang ada family sendiri lah kan, dah duduk ayah dulu kakak. So I'm the youngest one. So macam I ni bila I tak habis lagi study at that time, of course I rasa pressure because
pakai duit, training pun pakai duit.
dan side note, before ni I ada buat business juga.
Oh, ya ke?
Which is I bagi service for pet grooming and pet boarding.
Oh ya.
Untuk kucing saja lah.
Kucing saja. So you macam cat lover ni?
Yes.
You ada kucing ke kat rumah?
Ada 3 kucing.
Bila you boleh start beli kucing you?
I started with kucing hutan tau. Sorry ni dah lari cerita
Tak
kan.
apa, cerita je.
My dad dulu suka sangat nak kucing hutan tu. So it's actually illegal untuk you need to have license.
Oh, kucing hutan? Yang macam...
Dia Asian Leopard Cat.
Oh,
ALC.
sumpah tak?
Bunyi dia lain sikit tau. Bunyi
Tahu. Dia macam garang kan bunyi dia
garang. Tapi
kan?
kita orang dah beli dia time baby. So I memang bottle feed dia sejak kecil sampai dia dah besar. Sampailah bila my dad dah pension tapi dia still boleh sambung kerja balik. So time tu adalah kan banyak adalah source of income semua kan. So kita orang renovate our house at that time. So itulah time the year dah renovate rumah lah, I start join SOK semua itu. So kita orang buat rumah kucing. So like rumah kucing tu memang connected dengan rumah kita orang. Cuma ada sebilik tapi mostly semua macam filled with glass. Ada ventilation semua.
Bestnya.
So memang kita nak try to make a better environment for the cats lah, because knowing that diorang kucing hutan kan, diorang pun makan ayam petang, ayam rebus ke apa. Until lah COVID, so we decided like to not jaga ni masuk penat. Every day kena bagi ayam, rebus ayam. So kita orang sendiri yang call perkhidmatan. Because kalau orang yang complain, kita orang kena saman. But kita orang call cakap lah, kita orang ada kucing ni, kita nak serang diri dia seorang. So at that time bilik tu jadi kosong. So I belum ada lagi. I rasa after that baru I ada kucing. Tapi kucing I selalu dari orang-orang house. So memang kata nak buat apa dengan bilik ni. Sekali I pula pandai jaga kucing, and I pandai mandikan semua. So why not I memang kata why not kita decorate bilik cantik, then I buat pet boarding service. Because at that time ada app ni, Pet Packer. Orang Singapore kot yang buat. So you can like list your service kat situ. Orang pun boleh macam post macam, hi saya nak 2 ekor kucing nak buat untuk tarikh ni. So orang semua akan respon atau bagi harga. So from there lah I buat business at that time, because I need to like tak nak susahkan my mom. Dan nak pergi hoki pun makin lama makin susah sebab my mom dah tak boleh nak afford untuk nak tanggung lagi kan. I pun dah makin tua, takkanlah I nak suruh dia untuk tanggung lagi kan. So itulah, I think it's very challenging go back to this and hoki ni, because it's money. And if you want to know the cost for training now, 1 hour is 80 ringgit.
And how many hours you train?
1 hour for 1 night, and then belum lagi like transportation, nak pergi drive naik tol lagi, minyak lagi. And of course dari situ mesti nak kena beli like snacks or anything kan. So paling-paling pun 100 lebih tu memang kena spend. Itu kalau sekali seminggu. Tapi bila dah dekat dengan tournament, dia akan buat 2-3 kali training. Memang sakit lah. Itulah very challenging.
Itulah I realise kan, sister ayah dia grab any chance yang ada depan mata dia. Dia nampak bilik kosong, dia terus jadikan tempat untuk grooming. Sebab macam I lah, I jenis yang macam cakap je, tapi I tak pernah like execute. Macam I buat jom kita jual Maggi goreng lah, tak jom kita, but I never actually like buat benda tu. So when I dengar like things yang you cakap tadi, macam ada bilik kosong, if I were you, I would like tak apalah bilik tu kosong, nanti dia ada cushion baru letak lagi situ. Macam tu. I would think like that actually.
I think tu pun sebab I feel like I really nak kata desperate tak juga. I memang nak sangat to dapatkan side income kan. Because I need to be able to like pay for things and untuk sayuran. At the same time, I ada passion for cats at that time lah. Benda-benda lagi.
But itulah like I said, you grab any chance yang you nampak, and that is very very like I respect lah benda yang sangat-sangat respect lah.
So actually kan, you can also macam juga ada banyak life kan. So buat the random struggle dalam hidup. Macam kadang-kadang you macam sedih ke, susah makan ke, ataupun you tak ada problem ke. Right? Macam I tak cakap.
Makan, tidur semua tu okay je. Except for now like because I'm growing older, so akan ada banyak lah kot health complication kan. I dah boleh gastric, you know that. Itu je lah. Tapi apart from that, just discipline. One thing about having so many lives, you need to be very disciplined. Sebab takut sometimes you get carried away with this one thing, you forget life. For example, macam main game kan, dia akan drag kan sampai malam kan. So I macam, dah pukul 3 ni, aku esok kerja ni. So, tapi that doesn't make me stop lah untuk pergi kerja. Aku tak akan pergi kerja lah. So at that time dah kena start fikir macam, you know what, kita kena set time kalau nak main game. Sebab bila nak release stress kan.
Kita nak jadi disiplin practice sebab dah.
Yes, sometimes kalau nak ikut kepala je susah juga. You need to like jot down or reminder or buat je lah alarm ke apa ke. Kita dah kena buat benda tu like manually.
Itu susah sangat sebenarnya nak disiplin. I macam nak pergi mandi pun susah kan.
Betul lah. I think perempuan ada problem with mandi.
Ada problem with mandi
Akhirnya
kan.
pukul 8.25 lah. Akhirnya 8.
Scroll sikit. Oi, dah 9.30.
Contohlah 8.30 kan, kira 8.30 tapi dah 8.35. Lepas tu dia cakap 9 lah.
Kita kan try to dapat 9.7 minit. 9.10 kita kena kan. Dah 9.10.
Itu disiplin lah. Tapi itulah I think one of the reasons juga kita sebab ada phone kan. Doom scrolling. Yes, especially TikTok. I'm seronok
Sekarang dah threads kan.
Tapi kita akan memang doom scroll. Memang susah nak stop lah. So
Macam kalau ada something yang okay, kita kena stop sekarang. Kalau tak scroll je.
Betul. So cakap pasal TikTok, you punya TikTok apa? Ayah tak nak beritahu ke diorang TikTok you apa? Sebab mana tahu ada orang macam dia main National SOT, nak tengok lah.
tak kena tunjukkan tu cakap je.
Cakap je.
Okay, so my TikTok is Mochi Melon. It's actually coming from the gamer punya tag lah.
Kalau I cari Valorant ada nama you lah?
Tak, I dah tukar lah. Tapi itu zaman COVID lah, after COVID kan. So it's like Mochi Melon tu pun I tak tahu nak spell macam mana, tapi MOCHIEMEMEL0N.
Okay, nanti kita tulis lah kat bawah tu Alright. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna ask is going to be the last question lah. Alright, so at the end of the day kan, all these hustle kan yang you buat, you hadap all the you punya the problems yang you kena hadap, you kena keluar daripada macam all the depressed stuff lagi dengan kawan-kawan problem you lagi, the ex problem lagi, and then you have study problem, training problem semua tu. I just want to ask like why? Macam all this hustle, kenapa? Macam mana nak cakap like kenapa, macam mana nak explain that why kenapa you boleh macam hustle diri you, why tak
Macam paksa juga walaupun this kind of
semua yang you hadap ni you paksa juga. Yes, you said like it's for yourself kan, but like ada tak like actually you faham tak?
Despite everything, I still tak nak.
Yes. Why?
Sebab I masih lagi ada hope for the future that I nak. I tak give up walaupun I tak boleh nak buat. I do not like execute through my actions kan at that time when I was at my lowest. Tapi I tetap tak pernah give up in my hopes. like banyak lah kalau kita semua perempuan kita macam kalau boleh nak jadi apa mak yang cantik ke,
Betul, aunty yang kaya,
lelaki provide lah whatever kita everything semua benda tu macam kita nak that kind of life kan, and then travel sana sini. So I still have that hope yang I tak nak letak myself in a position where I rasa macam susah, even makan pun susah.
So like in 5 years or like 10 years, you rasa you akan dekat mana? Mana tahu nanti lagi 10 tahun yang masa tengok kan.
InsyaAllah, if given the opportunity, I akan probably do something that I memang dalam nak, the job yang I nak, and I got the husband yang the kind of husband that I nak, rumah yang I nak, kereta yang I nak. I live beautifully lah. Maybe at that time pun I still play ice hockey as a mother.
Ui, kau gila tu. Pasal bawa anak main sekali kan.
Dan anak-anak pun I ajar diorang untuk main ice hockey ke, ice skating, ice figure skate. I want to see that.
I doakan you dapat that kind of life. I doakan sangatlah you hidup very peacefully and very happily ever after semua. Tahu. So macam like lagi 10 tahun kalau you macam rasa macam budak ni cool tu. Contact je I ada je lagi 10 tahun I probably macam tengah cari you apa kan. Mana tahu tiba tu kau nak jadi coach lah skating hockey kan.
I think it's just whatever it is, kalau apa-apa pun like pop out in your head yang macam you rasa macam nak buat lah, just give it a try. It's wouldn't hurt nobody. It's like macam there's no point like you stressing just untuk yelah macam orang kata kan, sometimes orang kerja yang macam tak ada life kan, and then balik rehat tidur and then kerja and then duit tu landas guna terlebih dahulu. I don't want that kind of life kalau boleh. So that's why walaupun stress macam mana pun your life right now, ada banyak benda, you try to enjoy doing what you
Live our life to the fullest.
memang kena, sebab it's actually a privilege to be able to enjoy your life. Sebab sometimes orang yang dah kahwin ke, dah ada anak, dia tak dapat dah.
I think that is all for apa cerita. Mewakili apa cerita, I want to say thank you so much Sister Ayah, because you came all the way from Bukit Antarabangsa. You came all the way, and yelah you pun alumni kan, so macam you mesti macam ada belakang banyak pula jadi korban ni. So thank you so much sebab datang and bagi kita orang like a very very good input. I dapat banyak gila lesson from you. So I want to say thank you so much, and
So I hope this story boleh inspire everyone to keep on going walaupun how susahnya hidup korang. So hope this story akan inspire semua orang.
itulah kita orang doakan kepada dari sini, and apa-apa boleh recheck balik klip Sister Ayam macam dia cakap ni lah okay. Okay, so thank you so much. That is all for Apa Cerita episode 2. Bye.